Your perfume is dying on you, not fading, dying. You spray it in the morning, you smell incredible for about an hour, maybe two if you're lucky. By lunchtime, you're leaning into your own wrist, sniffing like a confused dog, wondering where $80, $90, sometimes $200 worth of fragrance just went. And here's the part that's going to make you a little angry. There is a $3 fix, a literal $3 fix, that perfume sellers, department store counters, even some of the biggest luxury houses have quietly let people forget about for the better part of 50 years. Not because it's a secret in some dramatic conspiracy sense, but because every time your scent dies at noon, somebody, somewhere, makes money. You reapply. You buy the bigger bottle. You upgrade to the parfum concentration. You walk back into the mall, the whole machine runs on your perfume disappearing. So let's talk about why it's disappearing, what that $3 fix actually is. Why the trick your grandmother used in 1974 outperforms almost everything the industry sells you in 2024. First, the truth about longevity. And I mean the real, boring chemical truth, not the marketing one. A fragrance is made of three things: alcohol, which is the carrier, water sometimes, and the aromatic compounds, the actual oils and molecules that smell like bergamot or oud or vanilla or whatever the bottle is selling you. When you spray it on bare skin, the alcohol flashes off in seconds. That's the cold hit you feel. Then the top notes, the citrus, the aldehydes, the bright stuff evaporate within 15 to 30 minutes. The heart notes, florals, spices follow over the next couple of hours. The base notes, the woods, musks, ambers, resins, those are supposed to cling to your skin for 6, 8, 10 hours. That's the theory. Here's the problem. Dry skin holds nothing. None of it. If your skin is even slightly dehydrated, and most people's skin is, those aromatic molecules have nothing to grip onto. They evaporate off you like water off a hot pan. Fragrantica is full of longevity votes where users with oily skin report 8 hours from the exact same bottle that gives dry skin users barely 2. Same perfume, same spray count, same body, different surface. That's not a manufacturing flaw. That's physics. Now here's where the $3 fix walks in. Unscented petroleum jelly. Yes, Vaseline. A jar of it costs you about $3 at any drugstore in America, and it has been sitting on shelves since 1872, 152 years. Here's what it does. You dab a thin layer on your pulse points, your wrists, the side of your neck, behind your ears, the inside of your elbows. Then you spray your fragrance directly on top. The petroleum jelly creates an occlusive barrier. The aromatic molecules sink into it instead of evaporating. The oils bind to the slick surface, and the scent, the actual scent, the one you paid $80 for, lasts 2, sometimes 3 times longer than it would on bare skin. People on our fragrance have been quietly trading this trick for years, and the consistent report is the same. A fragrance that normally died at 2 hours now pushes 7, 8, even into the next morning on clothes. This isn't folklore. The mechanism is real and it's documented. Perfumers themselves use a version of this when they want to test how a fragrance dries down over a full day. They apply on a fatty base because they know bare skin lies to them. Your grandmother knew it too. Go ask any woman who came up in the 60s and 70s how she made her Chanel No. 5 last from morning mass to evening dinner. She'll tell you, a dab of Vaseline or a swipe of unscented cocoa butter. Or, if she was fancy, the matching body lotion from the perfume line itself, which, surprise, is essentially the same trick, just marked up $40. The luxury houses didn't hide this exactly. They just stopped reminding you, because reminding you cost them a body lotion sale. And before I go further, if you're already thinking about which bottle on your dresser, you're going to test this on tonight. Do me a favor and stick around. In a few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the cheap drugstore scents that, when you stack this trick on top of them, genuinely outlast designer bottles that cost 10 times more. So go ahead and subscribe, because the next one in this video is the one perfume counter sellers really, really do not want you walking in already knowing about. And while you're down there, drop me a comment. Tell me the perfume that dies fastest on you. The one that betrayed you. The $80 bottle that gave you 90 minutes and a shrug. I read them. I'm building the next video off your answers. Now back to it. Because the petroleum jelly trick is just the foundation. There's a whole layered approach that the industry has slowly let drift out of common knowledge. And once you understand all of it, you'll never spray a perfume the same way again. Let's talk about concentration, because this is where most people get robbed without realizing it. When you see a bottle labeled eau de toilette, that's typically 5% to 15% aromatic compounds. Eau de parfum is roughly 15% to 20%. Parfum, sometimes called extrait, is 20% to 40%. The price scales with concentration, but here's the catch. The counters don't volunteer. A higher concentration doesn't automatically mean longer life on your skin if your skin can't hold it. You can spend $200 upgrading from the EDT to the parfum version of the same fragrance. If your skin is dry and you're spraying it bare, you might gain 1 hour, for $100 extra. Meanwhile, the $3 jar of petroleum jelly under your EDT version will likely outperform the bare skin parfum every single time. The math is insulting once you see it. Then there's the reformulation problem, and this one genuinely is a quiet scandal. The International Fragrance Association, the IFRA, regulates which aromatic ingredients can be used and at what levels. Over the last 25 years, the IFRA has progressively restricted dozens of materials that used to be central to classic perfumes. Oak moss, for example, the dark green mossy backbone of nearly every Chypre fragrance from the 20th century. The soul of things like the original Mitsuko, the original Miss Dior, the original Paloma Picasso. It has been restricted to such low levels that modern reformulations literally cannot smell the way they did in 1975. Birch tar, restricted. Certain musks, banned outright. Natural oak moss absolute, capped at fractions of what it used to be. These restrictions exist for real reasons, mostly allergens and sensitization. The consequence is that the bottle of your favorite ADS classic, sitting on the shelf today, is not the bottle your aunt wore. It's a legal cousin, sometimes a distant one. This is documented. Base Notes has entire threads, thousands of posts long, comparing vintage batches to current ones, and the consensus is brutal. Many of the great classics have been hollowed out. The longevity dropped, the depth dropped, the characters softened, and the houses very rarely announce these changes. You just buy the bottle, spray it, and wonder why it doesn't smell like you remember. It's not your nose, it's the formula. So now you've got dry skin working against you, reformulation stripping the longevity out of the classics, and a price ladder designed to make you climb it. What do you actually do? Here's the full stack. The petroleum jelly base is step 1. Step 2 is moisturize skin in general. Even if you don't want to use Vaseline, applying an unscented body lotion right after the shower and then spraying fragrance within a minute. 2. While the skin is still slightly damp and the pores are open, traps the molecules in a way bare dry skin never will. Step 3 is layering with the matching line if it exists, or with a neutral unscented lotion if it doesn't. Step 4, and this one people get wrong constantly, is where you spray. The classic pulse points, wrists, neck, behind the ears work because they're warm, and the warmth diffuses the scent. But hair holds fragrance longer than skin does, because the fiber structure traps molecules. A light mist on a hairbrush, then through the hair, will give you scent trails for the entire day. Clothing holds it even longer, sometimes for days, though be careful with delicate fabrics and darker formulas that can stain. And step 5, the one that finally puts the nail in the coffin of the myth. Do not rub your wrists together. You've seen everyone do it. Spray, rub, sniff. It feels right, it is wrong. The friction and heat accelerate the evaporation of the top notes and bruise the delicate molecular structure of the opening. You're literally cooking off the part of the perfume you paid the most attention to in the store. Spray and let it dry. That's it. Dab if you have to. Never rub. This isn't a fragrance snob being precious. Perfumers from Guerlain to Jean-Claude Elena have said the same thing publicly for decades. Rubbing kills the top. Now, the part I promised you. The cheap bottles. Because once you've got the $3 jelly trick locked in, the playing field changes completely. A $15 drugstore bottle on a properly prepped base can genuinely outlast a $150 designer bottle on bare skin. Reviewers on R, designer fragrances, and R fragrance clones have been documenting this for years. Bath & Body Works, for all the jokes, has body sprays and fine fragrance mists that, when layered over their matching lotion, last 8+ hours. They're in the stars, they're into the night, they're black amethyst, they're sensual amber. All of these get longevity votes that embarrass perfumes triple the price. Then there's Jovan Musk, around $10 on shelves since 1972. Still a sleeper hit with a cult following that swears it outlasts modern niche musks, costing $200. There's Coty Vanilla Fields. There's the Skin Musk from Bonnie Bell that people hoard on eBay. There's the entire Pacifica line at Target. And in men's, you've got Nautica Voyage at around $20 a bottle, which Fragrantica users routinely vote higher for longevity than fragrances 5 times its price. You've got the Old Stetson, you've got Brut, you've got Old Spice Originals, all under $15. All built on formulations from before the heaviest IFRA restrictions hit, which means they often retain a chemical robustness the modern luxury bottles have quietly lost. I'm not telling you to throw out your designer collection. I'm telling you the gap between cheap and expensive in this category is not what the marketing wants you to believe it is. Concentration, application, and skin prep matter more than the label on the box. A $12 bottle on petroleum jelly outlasts a $100 bottle on dry skin every time. That's not opinion, that's chemistry. Now let me clear up 2 myths before I close, because I don't want you walking away with bad information. Myth 1, more sprays equals more longevity. False. Past a certain point, usually 4 to 6 sprays for a standard EDT or EDP, you're not extending the life of the scent. You're just creating a thicker cloud that other people smell more strongly for the first hour, and then it fades on the same timeline anyway. The molecules evaporate on their own clock, not yours. Overspraying is how you become the person on the elevator everyone silently complains about. Quality of application beats quantity every time. Myth 2. Putting your perfume in the fridge makes it last forever. Partially true, but misunderstood. Heat, light, and air are what degrade a fragrance in the bottle. A cool, dark, stable environment, like a closet drawer, is genuinely better than a sunny bathroom counter, which is the worst possible place to store perfume. The fridge works, but it's overkill for most people. A drawer is fine. Just keep it away from the shower steam and the window light. A bottle properly stored will last years. A bottle on a sunny windowsill will turn within months. So here's where we land. Your perfume isn't broken. The industry isn't exactly lying to you. But there's a quiet gap between what they sell you and what they tell you, and that gap is where your money keeps disappearing. $3 of petroleum jelly applied before you spray will do more for the longevity of any fragrance you own than any upgrade in concentration. Any pricier bottle, any fancy technique a counter associate tries to upsell you on, pair that with the right cheap bottle, the right application points, no rubbing, proper storage, and you have effectively cracked the entire game for under $20 total. The bigger lesson here, and the one I want you to take with you, is that this whole category runs on you not knowing. The day you start prepping your skin, layering smart, trusting your nose over the price tag is the day the perfume industry loses a customer it used to count on coming back every 3 months for a new bottle. That's the real fix, not the jelly. The knowledge? Try it tonight. Pick the bottle that's been disappointing you the most, the one you almost gave up on. Dab a thin layer of unscented Vaseline on your wrists and neck, spray, walk away, and come back in 6 hours. Then drop me a comment and tell me what happened. I want to know which bottle came back to life. And if you want the next video in this series, the one where I go deep on the 5 drugstore scents that genuinely smell more expensive than they have any right to, the ones the counter girls wear on their day off, hit subscribe now so you don't miss it. Because once you know what to look for, you stop being the customer they were counting on. And that's exactly where you want to be.